I'm sorry.
We're taking a deep dive into Joe Biden picking Senator Kamala Harris as his vice presidential pick with Doc Rob, Russell. I'm sorry, Russell Robinson from North Carolina Central University, and sports media host Candace Cooper on this week's edition of Straight to Tape. Let's get it started. You a slice of unapologetic conversation. Welcome to Straight to Tape. My name is C. Perry Elysia II, the Mr. Fantastic of podcastings, Fantastic Four. First, the comedian, professional joke slanger, Tico de Gallo. What's good, Tico?
You know, people talk it. I live it all day, every day. I keep it 1,000. That's 100 with an extra zero, because that's about how many fucks I'm about to give today.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Back on that.
Yep, looks like that's the type of day we're going to have, ladies and gentlemen. And the first lady of S2T, the quintessential hip hop mom, Keisha with a Y. What's good, Key?
What's good, y'all? I would just like to say that I think out of all the podcasts I've heard, our intro music knocks, the best.
Oh, it does.
But hey,
Yeah, it does.
hey, what can you say? It's Keisha with a Y. I'm smart, I'm cute, and I cuss.
And she does that very well, actually. She really
All
does.
of it.
All of it. All everything she just said. Perfectly. Yeah. And of course, our social media assassin, ladies and gentlemen, number one, Rob Maximus. What's good, big man?
Man, I'm in the building. As always, ruggedly handsome, geekishly intelligent, and I am the chosen one that is here to bring balance and bring a balanced perspective to make you think. Let's get it on. Let's get it on and popping. Thank you. Thank you for joining Straight to Tape. Thank you.
And our usual permanent guest host, Bishop Omega, unfortunately is sick and he's out today. Okay. Be well, Bishop. Okay. We'll be happy to have you back whenever you get over whatever you have this time.
He's got a severe case of the bubble guts.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So.
Why y'all telling all my man HIPAA information?
Oh yeah.
He ain't been to the doctor.
Well, when we talk about Bishop and we say, he's not feeling well, people tend to think of his mind. So we had to sit there and let him know that his mind is still clarification. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Get well, Bishop.
Get
I'll
well.
call
Please
and
get
harass
well.
you
Please
later.
get well.
Yeah.
But sitting in for Bishop Omega, friend of Straight to Tape, North Carolina Central's own Dr. Russell Robinson, aka Doc Rob. What's up, Doc Rob?
I'm always happy to go ahead and be on the intellectual bench with you all. Thank you for having me. I know I'm gonna have a great time.
No doubt.
Intellectual bench. I love that.
I like it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yes.
He know words.
Oh shit!
He's a doctor after all.
He know words.
But yo, ladies and gentlemen, we got an action-packed show for you today. Really, it's pretty much just one main topic. We're going to take a deep dive into
Dylon.
Before we do that, P. Before we do that,
What?
we have to talk about the elephant in the room here.
Am I going to have to hit him? Are we going to have to hit him?
off top. Let's have it, Tico.
Let's get rid of it right now. What's the elephant in the room?
Oh, I know. Today is my son's 18th birthday, y'all.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, homie.
Happy birthday.
I'm a mom of an adult. But not really an adult because he can't buy beer and cigarettes, so it don't matter.
Yeah, but he can summon demons at Walmart. But look, last week I yielded to Rob Maximus because he stomped me. But ladies and gentlemen,
okay, what you got?
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come, it has came, and I shall bless you with it.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Very good. You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah. I can't mess with it today. I can't. I'm back in reruns today. You got me this week. Nice comeback.
Thank you.
I like that.
That's crazy. Okay.
Here I got you.
That was good.
Here I got you. Hold on.
Right.
My $8.99 tropical fruit dress from Lidl.
Cuteness overload.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, you beat me off top just for standing up.
Fascinating.
Oh, okay.
The booze. Can I share?
My little no cups.
Can I share?
Man,
Rob is no. Tico's the absolute winner because you know how I am. I don't compete in these t-shirt battles. Okay. However, I did get something in the mail that was very interesting.
Spit it out, man.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
He got you.
We might have to get this one.
He got
What
you.
the comments say? What the comments say? Whose shirt is the most fire?
I'm not competing.
You are
No,
competing.
because you closed the show down. You closed the show.
Nah. Anytime you stand your ass up and show a t-shirt, you're in the competition.
You're in it.
It sounds like grand opening, grand closing to me, Tico.
But look, if y'all want to vote, I'll say if y'all want to vote, drop the votes in the comment section. We'll tally them up at the end of the show.
I just didn't
Ain't no
debut
prizes.
it today, but I will be back. I will be back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, but let's go ahead and get started on today's topic. Okay, so the presumptive Democratic candidate for president, Joe Biden, made his decision on his vice presidential running mate. The decision came this past Tuesday, and he chose the senator from the state of California, Kamala Harris, former presidential candidate herself, and it started, of course, it started a whole lot of talk and a whole lot of conversation. First question that I want to ask my panel, okay? When the announcement came, I just want to hear your initial reaction. What was your initial reaction when you heard what the decision, decision was? We're going to leave social media out of it for a second. We're going to leave the media coverage itself out of it for a second because we're going to get to that. What was your reaction? Let's start with Kay.
Damn. She wasn't my pick, but I don't like Joe Biden anyway. So it really didn't matter who he picked unless it was like Michael Jackson. So we're just gonna have to she's not one of my favorites. But it's time to hunker down and make it do what it do.
He brought Michael Jackson out of the damn box.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say,
that was.
Well, I mean, Herman Cain tweeted beyond the grave. Why can't Michael Jackson be his fucking running mate?
Oh, we got it. We got to get. We're definitely going to touch on things like the Kane tweet later. Doc Rob.
Oh wow. I follow Keisha. I take the Avengers Endgame approach. I'm not a fan of Kamala. Having said that, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get this trash out of office, whatever it takes. So if she's the one, she's the one. Let's move forward. Game on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tico.
It reminded me of a joke.
What doesn't remind you of a joke?
Of course it did.
So Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Mrs. Harris is on a boat, and the boat is sinking. Who do you save?
The boat.
You let the motherfuckers drown. You save the United States of America. That's what
you need a bigger boat.
That's what I
like
thought.
that,
That's what I thought.
Like
it's like everybody else said, man. You know, it's nothing we can. You know, what's done is done. So we got to move forward and keep it moving, and deal with the problems that come when it comes about. I mean, you know, he picked what he picked. He can't go back. It's not like Walmart. You can't take the receipt back and get another one. You know what I'm saying? So
in 4 years after you used it.
Exactly. So, you know, so what we gonna do? I mean, what we gonna do?
That's as long as the warranty lasts. So
exactly. So, you know. But I did see what's your man that does the predictions for the elections. He's never he's been on point. Like he's
predicted everyone since like 1988 or whatever.
No, 1964. His picks go back to 64.
And he says
64 or 84.
Yeah. No, 64.
64. Okay.
Wow.
And he's saying that Biden's going to win this year.
I sincerely hope so.
Big man, Rob.
Your thought. I just want to say RIP to the real Kamala Harris, the original Kamala Harris, Kamala the Ugandan giant, James Harris, professional wrestler, passed away recently. But as far as this is concerned, man, I mean, there's not much more I could say. We're in a shit show, man. We're in a shit show. We're in the same boat that we were in 4 years ago. This time, shit show on either side. So I mean, she wasn't my I don't know who was my pick, to be honest with you, but she wasn't. I'm not a fan of hers. But I'm not surprised that she was picked. I'm not surprised. Exactly. It didn't surprise me at all when it came out. I mean, it didn't faze me one way or another because it was somewhat expected. But and I'm pretty sure we're going to get into this. What I'm not a fan of is the really, really crass disrespect of her throughout social media.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm not a fan of hers at all, like the stuff that I've seen, it's beyond reprehensible. So, but that's not surprising either. So we'll get into that.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it from the let's just say the Jimmy the Greek side of the game. Okay, no surprise to me at all. If you were going down the list of candidates or the list of potentials that Joe Biden had, she's the one that checked all of those proverbial boxes. Okay. Once he gained a nomination, I went into it like it was hers to lose. And it's funny because I've been keeping up with the list of candidates and the it's like watching all of the coverage or reading all of the coverage of the NBA and the NFL draft beforehand. Okay, you have a lot of you have platforms like the CNNs, like the Politicos, like the Huffington Post, that going into this decision, months back were, already putting out their pieces on the top candidates, pros and cons, who's moved up the draft, whose stock has fallen down, and in every one of them, she was always in the top two. Now Doc Rob.
Yo.
Now I remember now when the decision was made, I saw your post. And you were if I remember correctly, you were hoping for Susan Rice. And,
I was, and I tell you, and I've changed my mind because it's like we really have the lesser two evils. The lesser two evils. Her son spoiled it for her. She definitely had a global presence. She was the one I was thinking would be the best choice of them all. Of course, he clearly could not get Michelle. If he got Michelle, hell, it was a game changer. It was game over. And Barack was not going to let Michelle go. So, but I think that Susan has the more global appeal. She knows the global stage. Yeah. Kamala would be the better choice, in my opinion, for Attorney General, top cop. No questions. But even then, I have to go back and look at the policy she had as far as what she did when she was the top cop in California. Yep. Right. That gives me pause. I mean, how the hell are you going to lock up folks for truancy? But these are the same people who critically are not able to take care of themselves or their family that well. That's like playing into the GOP handbook, if I say so.
Yeah. Right. And that maybe isn't an effort to kind of balance Joe Biden's ticket a little more, add a little more conservativeness to it. I get it. But Susan Rice was my pick as well.
Yeah, my only and the former, the former national security advisor for President Barack Obama, Susan Rice. I was a big fan of hers. Okay, she should have been our last Secretary of State if it wasn't for the Benghazi dust up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fugazi. So, my only problem with putting Susan Rice on that ticket is the lack of running experience. Yeah, I know we got a president in the White House that had no running experience at all. All right. But when you're picking somebody that is that one heartbeat, and I do mean literally one heartbeat away from being the president, I do need someone that has that, that at least has some running experience.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Tell me why.
Because you see what's going on right now with somebody that doesn't. Okay. There's someone that doesn't have
but he's already in office. Running experience means that you are basically running for office. Like once you get in office, that doesn't really once you're on the campaign trail and you are running, it's best to have that experience. I mean, I'm sorry, let's face it, Donald Trump was an anomaly. Okay. He was an anomaly with, running with 19 other folks that couldn't get their voices heard in the room because he was the loudest goddamn voice. But I don't think he's an anomaly. I think he's a testament to the change in how campaigns are run.
Let me say this. I'm sorry. Doc. So let me offer this. Donald Trump, the resident in chief, he basically had a 10-year promotional campaign. It was called The Apprentice. Now, he was able to use that and leverage that for 10 years to put himself into the public eye. Now, I appreciate what PJ says, though, as far as the heartbeat away from the presidency, because let's be clear, God forbid we lose a president in office or have one incapacitated. That person technically becomes a president. Now, let's be direct. All of us were very young when Reagan got shot. But when Reagan got shot, when he got shot, George Bush was the president for 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. We maybe did not know, but at the same time, you had a person who had global experience. This man, known as 45, is a game show host at best, and he became the president. Now you have Pence. It's going to sound crazy. God forbid anything happened, but I would feel a little safe with Pence because Pence at least has some panache, some experience with running something. This man, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Does anybody realize how far distant Pence is from the vice president? I mean, from the president? Like, and he has been over the past couple of years. Like, he's not out on the gambit defending the president. Like, they may catch him in an interview and ask him a question or whatever, but he is so far removed from Donald Trump's antics, I guess, in preparation in case anything happened.
Well, I mean, from what I'm thinking, from what I heard is that they're shooting a documentary about him, and they're matter of fact, I think it's been out, and I think they're just re-releasing it. It's called the Omen 3. It's the Omen 3. So, if you that's pretty much, if you really want to know what he's been doing, just watch the Omen 3. That's probably pretty much what he's been doing, setting things right for, you know what I'm saying, for Satan to come back. So yeah, that's what's popping with him. He has other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's on that Raiders of the Lost Ark shit. Yeah, that's what.
Wow. You went back.
That shit he's doing. He's questing right now. You know,
the pick is what it is, y'all. The pick is what it is.
Yeah.
The pick is in.
The pick is in. The pick is out.
Right. We have no other choice.
We have no other choice. We didn't have other choice before, so. I see a lot of social media posts, and I guess we could matriculate into that. But I see a lot of social. If Joe Biden chose a wet, moldy sponge, I'd still vote for him over Trump. I get it. Everybody gets it, right? We get it.
I mean, that head of cabbage from What's Happening named Ralph has a better chance as being a running mate. Let's just be real. But I respect his choice. I have to respect it.
Yeah. Now, before we get fully into the social media reaction, let's take a look at the reaction from the right. Okay. Yeah. Now, when the pick was announced on Tuesday, when the president was asked, about the pick, it's a word, the first word that was used, and the first two words that were used, and they carried over during most of the week was angry, nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah. Angry.
Nasty girls. Hey, don't need a thing. Nasty. Hey, come on, Janet. Come on, Janet. Get out here on this political trail.
So I'd rather have the Prince version, nasty girl. Okay, go ahead.
He just riding off that Cardi B shit. That's all. He's riding
because he listened to it. He did while he was sitting on the toilet.
So fuck WAP is GOP, yo. It's GOP.
What are your thoughts about those two words being used as the first, let's say, attack volley from the president, and which was, well, and the other, we'll get into the others that was picked up by others in the GOP. What were your thoughts when you heard, him describing a black woman as angry and nasty?
He's a lazy politician.
It wasn't shocking at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lazy politician. I'm sorry, go ahead.
One thing that we can say is that she is absolutely prepared to combat anything that Pence or Trump throw her way. Like, as a black woman, you have to be. Like, you have to be when you step out of your door in the morning and you work in a corporate world full of white men. Like, it is, like, I'm not concerned about that at all. He's just pandering to his base. I get it.
I will add to that, because I think the key is that, first of all, she has been auditioning for the job since she could not get the presidential nomination. And I think that she really got that job when I saw her in quite a few debates. There was like some debates on the Senate floor. They were talking about something. I have to go back and check my information. But she was debating something. I think Rand Paul was giving her some static. It was about, I think it was the lynching bill, the lynching piece. Yep. And she handled it. She bossed that cat. She bossed him. Mm-hmm. And so with that said, I mean, this is not one to be messed with. So truth be known, I'm a Howard Bison as well. But having said that, she was on her business. She was on her job. So she is not one to be messed with. I think that the nasty girl thing or the nasty woman thing is something. He's a lazy politician. He's used the same thing with Clinton. And then he also used some archaic, in my opinion, stereotypes of Black women. So this is, again, to go ahead and wake up his base. I'm not thinking about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at the vice presidential debate, which is going to be primed. I don't even watch these shits, but I'm going to watch that one, the first one at least, that she came out with a nasty t-shirt on.
And you know the Skiwis is going to be out there with her too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
she can't lose right now. She can't lose.
He crushed. If you look at it, he hit it. He crushed it with 2 words. You know what I'm saying? Hey, first of all, you're lazy because you're Black, and you're nasty because you're a woman, and you put it together, you're a lazy ass woman. You know what I'm saying? And for people that don't want to think, and for people that don't have a vast vocabulary or knowing the meaning of words, or, you know what I'm saying, comprehending them truly, short jabs, man. Pop.
Yep.
Short jabs. It's like them old Western movies back in the day when you could curse out a whole room of people just by saying, I'll kill all you sons of bitches. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't that old.
You know what I'm saying? I'll kill all you sons of bitches.
That was Unforgiven. It was not that old. Thank you.
But it's a Western movie. It's a Western movie. You know what I'm saying? You curse out a whole fucking room.
In one swipe.
In one swipe.
Right.
That's exactly what he did. He swooped him one fucking swipe.
Make it quick.
He swooped and swoop.
Yeah, just really.
I don't know what other reaction we expected from his just dumb ass. Lack of intelligence, dumb.
The resident and thief.
Yeah. Well, you've heard. It started off. Of course, we started off from the top with nasty and angry.
Yeah, and then lazy. I mean lazy. I meant angry. That's what I meant. Angry is for you're a woman, Black woman. You're an angry woman. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say lazy. I meant angry. Yeah.
And then and then it went into the legitimacy of her citizenship. Okay, which did not come from him. All right, but came from other sources though. Okay, the article that got the big dust up in Newsweek. Okay, from a law professor.
It was an opinion post.
An opinion piece, correct? Who's had dealings with Senator Harris in the past, questioning the legitimacy of her citizenship. Questioning the legitimacy of the citizenship of a presidential or vice presidential candidate. Have we heard this before? I'm thinking sometimes my memory is just so bad.
I know, man.
I can't remember what we.
Alzheimer's getting us bad with that one. Yeah.
Well, no. Let's continue with the birther conversation, and then we may matriculate to the is she Black or not conversation, which doesn't even really matter. But
I got issues with that one myself. But go ahead.
Listen, man. Before we move on, somebody's making noise. Stop it, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
So, here we are again with a black candidate for the second top. Last time it was the top office, right? So the second top office, and there's a question about their American citizenship, which clearly has been vetted during the whole vetting process of all of the candidates. But in today's world of social media and bandwagoning, all it takes is a mention to put doubt in people's hearts. So, um, it's concerning, but not surprising that this whole rebirther movement exists right now.
Right. I mean, it was the birther movement that jump started the political career of our current president.
But do you not think this is a dog whistle?
Of course, it's a dog whistle.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But people don't. The people that need to hear the dog whistle act like they don't hear it, but they hear it.
Yeah.
They just they're just dogs, so just move on about their lives.
I mean, birtherism is racism. Period. The same way that alt right is racism. It's putting it in a different suit. That go ahead and say it, Rob. All right, it's putting a different suit on it. Okay, it's putting a better suit on it. It's like it's putting in it's taking off the suit that you got from J.C. Penney's, RIP J.C. Penney's, to putting on a Armani suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's dressing it up.
Well, I mean, what they say, put lipstick on a pig, it's still a fucking pig. So
Salzier.
Pretty pig though. It's a pretty
it's
pig.
pretty pig. It's a pretty pig, but it's still a pig. I mean, dude, it's the same thing, same game, man, same game. I mean,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
so my thing is this: if you were holding office in government, and I'm thinking you're supposed to be a U.S. A citizen in order to do that, wouldn't that have been nipped in the bud way earlier than when you try to become a president?
Exactly. It's called vetting. It's called vetting.
Exactly. So, dude, I mean, think about it. If they have already held office this long, evidently it must be true. They must be citizens. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was
Well, he was a governor. He was a
governor.
governor.
Yeah.
He can't be
You know what I'm saying?
president.
But he,
Yeah.
but
They were
he
trying
was-
to
he
fix
was-
that
but
temporarily,
he was
though.
a citizen, but
Yeah.
he became a U.S. citizen in order,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, to do that. So,
But in
Which
order
gave
to
him
be
a cap.
president
right.
or vice president, you have to be a natural born U.S.
Mhm.
citizen. And on those whole laundry list of tick boxes that you have to check in order to be considered to be the president or the vice president, that shit probably is in the top, because it doesn't even matter if you had a conviction later on down the list if you're not a natural born US citizen. I would think that if I saw a piece of paper that were like, these are the things that you need to check in order to run for president or be selected as a vice presidential candidate, that a fucking natural born US citizen would be one of the first things that they check. So this whole birther shit is just like it was for President Obama, a means to put doubt in people's minds and hearts so that they don't vote this ticket. There are people currently that hate Trump and are on the fence between not voting and voting for the Biden ticket. There are lots of those people. So this is just an effort to kind of usurp that whole process. Like, how the fuck did she I just it makes me angry if I think about it too much, and I only get angry on Sundays, Monday through
Why do
Monday
you
through
only get angry on Sunday?
because I have to pay attention to this shit and I have to talk about it. All the other days I don't. Like I wake up Sunday morning, I read art, I read up on what the fuck we're gonna be talking about, and I get energized for the show. And then here it turns to anger because the shit's stupid. It's dumb.
But let's
Like
let
it's fucking dumb, yo.
if I could
I
go ahead and I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go no. Go ahead.
If I could go ahead, let's just look at the strategy here though. I mean, the strategy that's in play. I mean, this man has selected a woman who is connected, in my opinion, across the trifecta. The ultimate trifecta. First, she is an HBCU grad. That's one. Two, she also has D9 connections. That's two.
Three. That's
Thank
two.
you.
Yeah, two.
Now, one and two. Number three, she is gendered. She's a woman. So as I look at this, this was strategic, and I actually appreciate the strategy. Let's just be real. He made a campaign promise, and I'm happy that he fulfilled it. I think the fact that we're looking at Trump and actually giving energy to Trump to figure out, what's he going to do to that? Let's just be real. Did you take a look at what Pence had to say when he said, "I'm looking forward to seeing Kamala"?
It's Kamala.
Kamala, thank you.
I mean, 7-Up Sprite. It's all.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You know better.
Same
Rob
shit.
Robe.
Get it right.
It's not the same shit, and we'll get to that later.
The point
Alexis
is
and
that
Alexis.
I will call you Robe Maximus from now on.
the point is that I don't think he's prepared for what he has done. This right here was like Biden. Biden basically called out Voltron, for lack of a better term, and it's going to show. I mean, from what I'm looking at, the D9, everyone's saying we're going to unite around the Kamala. Thank you. I'm just going the future vice president, the new vice president. They're all putting their time. They're putting their energy in that. I think the other thing too is that she is not new to this show. She knows how to do this job. I think she's perfect in regards to being selected. She's not my candidate, but right now, again, back to what Steve Rogers says, whatever it takes. I think the thing that we have to begin to have a conversation about is how we're going to get people to the polls. The thing that concerns me the most is that we have the next generation of voters, in my honest opinion, who rather be woke than vote. And that pisses me off. Dramatically.
Talk about it.
And I mean, if you think, and our frat brother Perry, let's just be direct. He didn't vote last time. I'm gonna give him a pass, but I better see his tail at the polls this time. No game. That's just me.
Exactly.
Crazy. I mean, like you say, Doc, I'm with you on that because let's just be honest, Biden is not that eloquent of a speaker, and he needs somebody to balance that out to come out and say what he has to say. And unfortunately, Pence is just sitting in the back letting Trump just do whatever he's doing. So I mean, yeah, strategically, it's a great move. I mean, like you say, she's a pit bull. You let off that leash, she's going. She's not going to break down.
Yeah,
I don't want to call her a pit bull. I would like to replace that.
She's a lioness.
Like a dog.
No, I get it. Yeah, my mama would always defend us to the tooth when we were out and young, me and my sister. And my daddy always called her a stinging worm. So I'm gonna call Kamala my stinging worm.
Okay.
What? Okay. Yeah. Stinging worm. Interesting.
Yeah. So so I just think it's it's going to be very interesting. I personally didn't like the way that he nominated the VP by saying I'm going to vote for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just off top. But I get it because, like you say, Donald Trump has been campaigning this whole time while in office, still doing things. You know what I'm saying?
He's been campaigning since 2017.
Exactly.
So,
and Biden hasn't been able to hit, to do his rounds. And so, I get it. A marketing scheme, I'm about to get a woman. So let me get these votes in. I'm about to get a black woman too. So let me get these votes in. you know, because I don't. It, to me, if he had did it and it was more like a shock, like whoa, you know, it could have had some different ripple effects. But I get it, due to the simple fact that we're all in this pandemic and they have to do this. It's a new way of running. It's a new way of campaigning now.
But answer me this question. Mm-hmm. Answer me this question first. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been this much like pandering and delayed anticipation around the vice president pick?
I can't remember it being.
And I'm trying to
84.
go back.
84. Geraldine Ferraro.
Well, you know something. I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I mean I was young then, but you know even then I was, I was paying attention to politics. Shut up. Wow. Anyway, at that time, because that was if I remember correctly, that was the first time that the Reverend Jesse Jackson ran for president. Okay,
it was,
and there was, and with, based off of what he did in the first opportunity that he had to run for president, he actually did a lot better in 1988. There was talk of him possibly being the nominee. Okay. But there was always that lean towards the historic first nominee, female nominee or non-white male nominee of a major party with Geraldine Ferrara. So I kind of remember that, 88, not so much. 88 was more about why the hell did George Bush pick Dan Quayle? That's what 88 was about.
Right.
That's what 88 was about. It didn't feel that way in 92 with Bill Clinton picking Al Gore. Didn't feel, and I don't remember it feeling that way in 2000 as well. Okay, except for why did you pick Joe Lieberman? That's the only thing I could remember there. Okay, even when Obama picked Biden. Okay, it wasn't like that as well, because a lot of people thought that it was already talk of he was going to pick Biden, even though you had a huge talk about Hillary. Okay. So this time, like I said, this time around felt like I was watching ESPN the whole time.
So you think it was telegraphed? It was telegraphed.
It really did. Look. If you look at the day that the vote went, that the choice went down. Okay, and I was watching, and of course paying attention on my social media. Check this out. Okay, first in the morning, you had you had the announcement that the staff for the vice presidential candidate had already been picked, so you knew there was a pick coming. Then you heard the pick can come at any moment, and then you heard the folks that were on the list make their announcements that they had been told it wasn't going to be them. You had Karen Bass come out, the Democratic House of Representative member from the state of California. You had Governor of the state of Michigan, Christine Whitmer. Then her announcement came out that she wasn't picked. Okay, so at that time you knew it was at the final two. Okay, and then you had folks that were in the know on social media. It was like, look, I'm tired of you asking who's going to be picked. Go ahead and text this. Go ahead and text this number to Joe Biden, to pretty much to Joe Biden 2020, so that when the announcement is made, y'all will be the first to know, and y'all be the first to get the text.
Great advertising. Get to be first before fucking
social
media. Great advertising.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good political capital.
Yeah, good political capital. Let me just say this. Let me tell you what that felt like. Okay, and it did not feel like anything that I have ever experienced politically. what it felt like
Since
was,
you were a baby nerd.
yeah, what it felt like was 2010 July, LeBron James, the decision. That's what it felt like. It felt like, and free, and NBA free agency, or major free agency after that. You know what I mean? Where where it trickles out. Okay, he's not going here. He's not going here, and then the decision is made. Then he announced the decision himself on his own platform. Oh, actually, let me rewind that. Let me fast forward that back a bit. NBA free agency last year. Okay, where the players announced where they were going on their own platform. On their own platform. On their own, yeah, on their own platform. Look, Kevin Durant announcing on his, if I he was either announcing on his website or announcing on the Athletic that he had chosen the Brooklyn Nets, which was 1 minute after he was able to make the announcement. And so kind of felt the same way with text Biden, you'll be the first to know. It goes out to the followers first, and then it goes out to everybody else.
Man, I'm sorry, Doc. It's like I've been saying, man. I studied communications and I was going into advertising. That was my thing. And like I say, great PR work, man. Just great freaking PR work. For the simple fact that when Obama first came into the office, he changed the game. He used technology. This is a branch from all that. This is a way to get the people that don't watch the televisions, that don't listen to the radios, to get these advertisements that go into streaming and that goes into this, that, and the other. It's like you said, it's just like buying a fucking brand new pair of Jordans. If you get the damn ticket beforehand, you get it early, then you get the sneakers. You don't have to stand in line. So it's that same type of genius way of getting younger people to see what's going on. Now
was
to
the
think
first
about
to
it,
do that. Like
he
was the first to impart that to apply that formula, right?
He was, but here's a challenge. You've now got something that's a complete different game changer. Different game changer. We're dealing with a election in a pandemic. And already you see that your boy is trying to go ahead and just grease the skids already. Disarm the post office. So my question is this, because typically the rounds that I would expect this ticket to make, okay, I know this ticket is supposed to go to Howard University. I know this ticket needs to come to NCCU and A&T. This ticket is supposed to hit our HBCUs as well as other places. So having said that, how do they now make these rounds in this pandemic? Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, let's be real, a lot of us, for all intents and purposes, are like, okay, we got her, we have Kamala, we got her. But is she really who we want right now? To be honest with you, throw another candidate out in the woods for you. What about Elizabeth Warren? Elizabeth Warren was not a bad candidate.
No.
But we have to get away from that because she's not the candidate. So
no, she's not. But she's gonna be
our energy. If you mean it, then our energy. Because I've told y'all she's not my first, second, or third pick on vice presidents.
Right.
Well, we are here now. We need to focus our energy on getting to know her, getting her message out there, whatever that message may be, and getting people to the polls or voting via absentee ballot or mail-in ballot or whatever, and making sure that those ballots make it to where they need to be. And in most states, you can get an absentee ballot or a mail-in ballot. You don't have to mail it back. You can take it back to the Department of Elections, or what is it? Not Department of Elections, Board of Elections in your area. So you don't have to depend on the Postal Service, which Trump has openly diminished over the past fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy. So it's about, this is our decision. This is the only choice we have. If you're in it to win it, then you need to focus your attention and energy on getting people to vote and getting votes counted at this point. Educating people on, you don't have to mail your ballot back in. You can take it down there. Or you could, there's so many things at this point that are murky for a lot of people that will prohibit the vote.
But
So it's our job at this point to educate people on how they vote and how they make sure that their vote gets counted.
But what I'm thinking about when he does that is the percentage of elderly people that don't have the means to get out and vote like that. I'm talking about the ones that are in these facilities, you know, that do things the old-fashioned way, that can't really sit and stand for hours, and
you don't have to,
or go, because some polls have been dismantled, having to drive further away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that he's trying to grab at that percentage of people that in those rural areas that you can't get to, you know, and they're
but that's all about education, friend. Because my dad doesn't go stand at the polls.
I get you on that. I get you on that.
Yeah,
but then,
it's all about
you
education.
But you have to think about the that's your father that has the education to do that. But then there's a lot of folks that don't have that. There's a lot of people that don't have that family structure that'll be like, okay, well, I know the polls open at such and such time. Let's go get Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get Big Mama. Take her and get Big Mama, her sisters, her aunt, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in that age group, take them down there early. Let the elders vote first, so they don't have to deal with all that heat and all that.
Well, what I'm telling you is the education behind that is that they can sit in their car and they'll bring the ballots out. If you have a handicap sticker, you can sit in your car, so anybody can take you, and that's the whole thing. Focusing our attention and efforts to making sure that these people get to where they need to be when they need to be there, whether it's early voting or whether it's voting on election day. We need to educate. We need to kind of corral our resources to make sure that these vulnerable people get to where they're supposed to be so that they can cast their vote. We don't have to depend on the Postal Service. I haven't depended on shit for the Postal Service in a long time. You know what I'm saying? I just haven't. It has to have been, and only this shit has kind of brought that. I don't mail shit. When's the last time you mailed a bank? When's the last time you wrote a check and put it in an envelope and mailed it back for your bills? When's the last time?
But when's the last time you stood behind an old person and she pulled out a checkbook?
This is true. I think the key is that we got to be prepared for the new world. Exactly. I think the new world is also, why can't we get Amazon to go ahead and do the balloting as well? Pick up where the post office lets off.
I'm sorry, Doc. They said I read on that Amazon and because Amazon uses the postal service.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon uses the postal service. FedEx said that they can't
do
handle
individual
all the postal stuff from the post office.
Guys,
but this is
sorry, Doc. Sorry. Look, I gotta add another voice to our conversation. Look, I've been a fan of hers since I first heard her on the Sports Shop with Reese and K-Mac. Been following her for a minute. So definitely want to, like I said, add her to the conversation here. The host of the Locked on Hills podcast, host of the Out of My League podcast, sports media host Candace Cooper.
Hi, everybody. How are you? How are y'all?
What's going on?
All right, all right.
I feel like I am a student right now learning. I've dropping some gems I've been hearing in the background in the green room. I'm pretty excited. As soon as they said Elizabeth Warren, I was like, wait, what? What was that? Okay. Feeling that. That was my pick, you know.
We try to be an educational tool more than just a regular tool as much as possible. So thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, so just to okay, I just got before we get back into things, I just got I do have a question for Candace, especially with the choice of Senator Harris as the as the vice presidential nominee. Okay, because it is I say this, it is a first. Okay, we're talking the the first African American woman to be nominated, the first Asian American and Indian woman to be nominated, the first graduate of a historically Black university to be on the to be nominated. Okay, and Candace, I know how you are about first. Okay, if those that don't know, Candace Cooper. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I get it messed up or anything. Okay, you were the first African American female swimmer at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
That's correct.
Yeah. So as a
respect.
Yeah, as a pioneer in that space, how do you feel about the importance of Senator Harris and her first?
Right. And you also have to mention that she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Yeah. I couldn't avoid that either. So
couldn't avoid that. That is not the reason why I'm rooting for her, though. I will say, I think people looked to me as soon as, she got on the ticket and said, because she has pink and green, that's going to be my vote, which I still feel conflicted. But being a woman, being someone who has had to make strides and be the first in something, it is, okay to take a moment to reflect and be happy, right? I'm happy that there is a woman finally breaking the barrier so that when there are young women who aspire to be that one day, they've seen it now. Like they can say there is a woman who got to that level, like that can genuinely might have a fighting chance to get there. Like she's not the first one ever, to be a part of the political scheme, but it's different. And so I'm hoping that is what is inspiring people more than anything else.
Right. I'm actually glad that you mentioned celebrate the moment. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, guys, let's talk about the social media aspect of the announcement.
I didn't want to.
I was just making sure you had your camera back on. I know you don't want to, okay? But this is the part of the show where we talk about the social media reaction to the candidacy.
Drink. So, there's so many angles to this, right? So there's the whole complete racist anti-Candace angle. Like I literally saw a post that said, "Did I? Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, my bad." Kamala, anti-Kamala angle.
I've experienced it too. It's okay.
I have too. So there was a post and some white man commented, or it may have been a bot, who knows, that he literally said that she had to suck dick to get to where she was because she can't be that smart. Like that's the type of shit, that's the type of evil we're dealing with. So
nobody cares, Perry.
Shut up, Rob.
Nobody gives a fuck.
When I see my brothers not disagree with her politically or on the decisions she made as a politician, but just make disparaging comments because she's a woman, it's not what we need. And that's what I'll fight for. I don't agree with her politics, but she is my sister. She is our sister. and it's about to go down. So I need all fucking hands on deck to protect her to the finish line, whether that finish line ends in victory or whether that finish line ends in defeat. I don't care. But she is a Black woman in America, just like your mama, your sister, your daughters, and your aunts. So she needs to be protected. So the last thing that I need to log on and see is my brothers, people that I consider my brothers, making disparaging comments about her on anything other than her political decisions.
100% agree. I think we're finally calling all the men to the carpet. Everyone who said they are about supporting their sister, the whole Breonna Taylor incident. Now we all want to love on our sister so much. Okay, well, here's your moment. Just because she might not look like you wanted her to look, she might not be whatever skin complexion. It doesn't matter. There's a way to have that discussion while respecting the woman. So I think a lot of guys we saw with the NBA photographer come out, and he was a white guy.
Yeah.
You know, it had Joe Biden. It was like Joe and the hoe.
Right.
What service? What purpose did that serve? Right. You can disagree with someone without being disrespectful, and I think social media just for some people is that space where they feel confident. Twitter fingers, feel really bullish. So it's just we have to have all hands on deck. Like you're pretty much to me voting for cognitive reasoning. Like, are you voting for someone who has the cognitive ability to lead a country? Right now, we don't have that. So whether you want to hold people to the fire.
Good point. You repeat that. Repeat it. Repeat it and explain it a little more. Like for real.
Yeah. So you're seriously voting for cognitive reasoning, cognitive functions. Like I don't believe that our president has those abilities right now to effectively lead us. So I'm voting for someone who I can at least say, hey, I can have a conversation with her. I can bring stuff to the table and she's not going to blow me off. She's not going, she might, but she's at least going to acknowledge what is going on in our country. We don't have that right now.
But to your point, do you see how we continually focus on Kamala and not necessarily Joe, who is the nominee?
Exactly.
Because when you're talking about cognitive function,
Joe is trying to ruin it for us. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. If Joe just knew how to shut up, we might be in a better
right.
Exactly. We've been saying that about Joe. We said that about Joe for 8 years. Okay. I bring it up all the time. The Biden gaffe. Okay. Bring it up all the time. Okay. That's what he's going to do.
And listen, and honestly, I'm glad we're here because I'm a Black woman. I grew up as a Black girl to a Black woman. There are a lot of things that my mother created in our world to emulate those things that were going on in the white world that made me proud to be. That she just made sure my sister and I were proud to be Black women, not just women, but Black women. There's a difference. And so this whole thing is a lot for me. You know, when Disney came out with Tiana, I think I shed some tears because never in the history of Disney was there a Black princess. Now we can debate about she was a frog and blah 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 blah. That's not where I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know me.
For a Black woman to be the presumptive vice presidential nominee is a lot for me, and that it does a lot for me. And I am celebrating that, even though I don't agree with her politically. Like, there are certain things, there's worse things that could happen, right? So I'm so in it to win it for her. And I want our brothers and sisters to protect her and not bash her or admonish her, because she is us and she has led a similar life of what a lot of us have led to get to where she is. Can you fucking imagine the conversations that she's had or the adversity that she's faced as to get to where she is? So please don't deny that, and liken it to conversations that you've had or battles that you faced as a Black woman or a Black man to get to wherever you wanted to go.
Can I get in on this for a little bit? So here's the piece. I respect everything that you all said, and I think we have to just unpack this elephant as we talk about it now, and this patriarchal masculinity that exists within the Black male community space. Yes. I think a lot of us, myself to some degree included, have had problems dealing with the idea of this Black woman who has now risen to this level of prominence. I don't even look at it as that. Yes, she is a Black woman, and we have to have that conversation too. But there's patriarchal masculinity that is just a toxic cancer within our Black male space. Yeah. And I think a large part of that has to be addressed. If we don't begin to have that conversation in regards to disassociating ourselves from what we have been taught, led to believe that we're supposed to be, no, let's be real. We had our chance, we had our shot, and we did a good shot with Barack Obama. This is a woman who is progressive. She has done a lot of things that I probably may never do in my own life. But the fact is, this is her time. And I think if we don't begin to have that conversation about disabusing ourselves from the toxic masculinity that exists within how we're not going to vote or how we will vote for, Kamala Harris, that's going to be a problem. So I think in our spaces, our enclaves of barbershops, if you will, we need to go ahead and start talking this woman up. If we don't start talking this woman up, okay, we're going to be back for another 4 years of, Oompa Paloompha. And I don't think any of us want that. That's just me.
You're right. You're right. And we may be on our way to fucking third world war. Like, seriously. And so, like, it's really simply down to this is our choice. This is our only choice. And to respect her as the person that she is, just like you have friends that you don't necessarily agree with politically, you're not throwing them away as friends. Like I don't agree with all of Rob's politics at all. But we've been friends for a long fucking time, almost 30 years, and we're going to continue to remain friends. Unless he comes out like your boy, the real life Clayton Bixby that came out this week. Rob, if you ever get that fucking conservative, we can't be friends anymore. But I mean, other than that, I love you,
Rob. You got to respond.
Well, that's the problem. First of all, the fact that you would liken me to certain.
I didn't like you certain degrees.
Yeah, I mean, or just the idea that I would, be that far gone. I mean, I don't know about all that. I'm just saying, y'all know that I'm not the most liberal person on the panel here.
Really? So surprised, man. Lord,
we love you anyway.
All jokes aside, the problem is when people don't respect each other's opinions, whether
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like we start attacking each other on our political what we agree with politically. We start attacking each other personally, and that type of stuff has to stop. And that's why I'm not a fan of attacking Kamala on a personal level just because people don't like her politics. I don't like her politics. I don't. But I'm not going to sit here and allow people to just like really disrespect her on some just, on some foul personal stuff. Because I don't make it a point to you never hear me disrespect. I don't disrespect this president, didn't disrespect the last president. I've disagreed with both of them. You understand what I'm saying? And I've said so, but it just gets childish to a certain degree. So that's why I'm not a fan of that at all.
Right. Do you think that okay, when did we used to have such a high esteem for the president, for politics in itself. We never talked about politics unless it was at the dinner table or at the barbershop. We never, you know what I'm saying? You never knew who I was voting for. I didn't know who you were voting for. When did all of this just come to the point where we just say, your political views, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
social media.
Can
Yeah,
I
social
say
media.
something on that, please?
Yeah.
So I would say a large part of that came to fruition when we had the Tea Party. I will be very kind and direct when I say this. There are some parts of the Republican Party that I agree with.
Yeah.
All right. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah.
And I think the same, I think the challenge though is that when we start looking at defamation of a person's character, when you start going to the gutter, that's a problem. And I think
Doc Rob, for a minute, can you pause on your thought if possible and tell people what you do for a living? Because it adds credence to the conversation.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Yes, I'm a professor of mass communication and media studies assistant professor, soon to be tenured at NCCU. And what I look at the notion of the politics of representation. I look at media, mass comm, how we connect to it, how we allow that to address our social constructions of reality. So if you take a look at the concept, the notion of how we ingest media and look at it, if you take a look at the theories that we have with it, a large part of the problem is that we have forgotten how to become critical consumers of what it is we look at. And when you think about the notion of the political message itself, the advertisement, Tico, that you talk about, you have to think about the whole notion that a lot of us like, hey, I'm just going to take it and run with it. We have forgotten how to be critical. When we start being critical of who is encoding the message, and then we have to start decoding the message. We think about what the medium and the message mean collectively. So that's a whole bunch of philosophical stuff to say that we got to start thinking about how we ingest our media. And we've not done that. When you go back and take a look at this notion, if you will, of the whole thing with the Tea Party, they had this campaign to say that Barack Obama was not a citizen. They're now using the same concept to say that Kamala is not a citizen. That's rubbish. And I think the reality is when you start looking at this playbook and start dissecting this playbook, and if you really start looking at it, then you'll be thinking about, well, who is it that's saying this? Take a look at Fox Media. Fox Media is a right-wing conservative media agenda platform. End of story. And I'll be the first to say also that CNN and MSNBC, very much liberal in their thought processes. Having said that, the idea is that we need you the voter, to now start thinking about things critically and analytically. It's one thing to go ahead and have people give you facts, but what about what you do with those facts is entirely up to you. So I think it's imperative. It is essential that you don't go to the polls loaded, and I don't mean loaded on booze, weed, whatever. I mean loaded on political nonsense. Think about what is important to you. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that. So we've now gotten inside of this trap where we're thinking about the fact that we have this one president who is basically predicting moral panics. He did that with Latinx America, okay? Building a wall. So if we can get beyond the moral panics, if we can get beyond the moral panics and start looking at the realities of where we are, you have a president right now who has been completely dysfunctional with the greatest threat to this country in modern age. You have a president who is now tampering with your taxes, and that's questionable.
Tampering with your taxes, tampering with large and small business delivery,
can I curse?
Optimization, absolutely,
absolutely,
of course.
He's fucking up the country. Thank you. I've done my fuck for the day. So having said that, the point is that you have this individual, the resident and thief. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But you have this individual who is now basically saying he's going to say, don't pay your FICA taxes, we got you covered. That's bullshit. You got to pay that shit back. And a lot of people don't believe that. And so the thing is that we have to become, at the very least, informed voters, especially now. So we can't just look at this man who has had a political...
And not just voters, Doc, Americans. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, no FICA tax, because they've always look at their check stub and be like, "What's Social Security and Medicare?"
Look,
Like, I don't need that right now.
Right.
You gotta pay that shit back.
You gotta pay all that shit back. You have to pay all that stuff back. Yo, if you think you're getting taxes next year, you're not. But you have to pay all this stuff back. And he's giving you this extra stimulus check to come up here. You have to put that stuff down on your taxes because that's money earned. You know what I'm saying? So that puts you in a higher tax bracket. So therefore, when you file these taxes and then you wind up owing, you're gonna be like, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying?
And it's not just that. It's not just earned income.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to pay that tax break
with interest, maybe
with interest. So yeah, it's not. And what this dude is promising is that, all right, so I'm gonna sign this executive order to not have any Social Security and Medicare taken out of your check for a month, right? 6.2%. No, Social Security is just Social Security. So 6.2%, you're gonna get that in your check. Right. Then you file your taxes at the end of the year. It then becomes income, because if it's not taken out as taxes, then it becomes taxable income for federal and state taxes. So you pay the tax on that. Your refund is reduced.
And tell them what you do, Keith. Tell them what you do.
Then this nigga saying that if he's elected president, then he'll make all of it go away, which he doesn't have the power to do.
He doesn't have the power to do.
He does not have the power to change how Social Security and Medicare, federal taxes are taken out of your check. He does not have that power. That has to go through Congress and be enacted as legislation.
But let me tell you,
y'all believe that little 6.2% on a higher,
chill. Hold on for a second, because look, I got it.
Go ahead.
I got to get Candace in on this, okay?
It's okay.
Because one thing that Doc Rob mentioned, okay, about the ingestion of how we take in media, okay? Now, Candace, full disclosure, if you haven't already noticed, you're stuck in a room with a bunch of Gen Xers, okay?
Why you put it like that?
They're real. Just being real. Because I know as you were coming up, that ingestion of how we take, how we take in media, how we take in news, how we take in information, was changing. Okay, so Candace, I mean, for your group, all right, is the conversation that you're having in the room with a bunch of old folks, is it kind of the same?
Hey, speak for yourself, nigga.
I agree. I agree with my chocolate drop.
Yes. Well, as millennials, our news is Twitter. Our news is how we get things at the ready. So a lot of people get their information from a push notification from CNN, and they go from there. I think also we watched in the like a 90s baby that I am. We watched Schoolhouse of Rock. That was we learned about how to, I'm just a bill, Congress, what have you. And that's kind of where it went. So this pandemic has showed, damn, I don't know much about the government. I don't know what really is going on. Trump seems to be getting away with a lot of things, and people are just kind of going with it. So I'm really having to take a step back, look at the Republican Party, look at the Democratic Party. Where are people like moderate? Where are people, more to the left or to the right? And so if anything, this has opened your eyes to, this is what we see in other countries that happen, right? We assume America, we have all this land of living, we can do whatever, we've been free. So we've been spoiled. We haven't had to figure out things to go with taxes. I never thought I would have to experience unemployment or how to register or anything like that. Never in my lifetime did I think I would have to call somebody and be like, how do I get some money because I don't have a job? So it's very eye-opening to even think that when we got the extra money, and it's not even really extra money, it's money that you already, put in for all these years. So all these different things that a lot of us as millennials we never thought we had to care about until you recognize that we're going to be working till we're 90 years old because this man is trying to take us down a very, very dark hill. And he's going to keep doing that if you don't vote. And that's the other part. A lot of millennials, they get in their feelings and they let their feelings lead them. And so if I don't feel like voting or I don't feel like this person meets my needs, I'm not going to do what's my right. Mm-hmm. That pisses me off beyond.
In that moment, you don't feel, right?
Exactly. Right. That pisses me off beyond words, because there are a lot of young people who are in the trenches, who are doing the groundwork, but the ones who aren't love to complain. And I just am a person where if you're going to complain but not do anything, you're wasting my time. So if you're going to complain and actually want to be holding Kamala's feet to the fire when things get, into effect, fine. But if you're not going to do that, then what's the point? You're just blowing hot air to everybody. And I think we've had this platform now where anybody can make a podcast and talk crap. Anybody can make, a TV show or what have you and have their platform and feel like they're informative. And if you get enough people to believe them, then they feel like they have something. And so that's where I think the problem has come for this generation, especially in the news and media cycle.
Yeah. Not only that your generation, our generation too. Shit, I mean, Jim Jones had motherfuckers drinking Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's all about who you gravitate to and how strong your mind is. If you're just going to sit here and take the fuck, say you're scrolling and the first thing that pops up, and you think because it's the first thing that pops the fuck up that is the truth. It's not. Yeah. We've talked about that before, P, on the podcast, about kids doing that. When you sit your kid in front of a tablet and you put in Peppa Pig or whatever, and it comes up and then it plays, you're like, oh, then that's the one I have to go to. I'm automatically believing that the first thing that I pick is the truth because it works. You know what I'm saying? Those domain names and all that other stuff, and when you sit up here and you click it and you're like, well, oh shit, maybe she isn't from this country. Maybe she is from here. Yeah, and you're not going back digging deep into it. You all have social media and it's a great tool. Whenever I wanted to learn some information, I had to grab a fucking encyclopedia. So, you know what I'm saying? And when you grab an encyclopedia, the encyclopedia tells you, hey, at the end of that fucking sentence, hey, you go back to this fucking page to find out the truth that's going on with this. And then you had to pull out another fucking damn dictionary. I mean, another encyclopedia to get the facts for that fucking shit. You see what I'm saying?
So after you did all that. Yeah, after you did all that work, though, you appreciate it differently.
We appreciate it, and we got it.
Yeah, exactly. We can just click Google's, and the problem also is people are so lazy. Like Google is a 6-letter word. You literally can go Google something, find out more information, but people are not willing to do that. And then you're just going to be upset come 4 years later when we still have the same. Actually, it's not even going to be the same. It's going to be worse. Let me not even say it. It's not going to be
absolutely
remotely the same that we are now. It's going to be worse. And you have kids right now. I come from a student athlete perspective that are hell bent on trying to bully a pandemic. Like you're literally going to try to have college sports this fall because you just want to play.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
This show is not about that, where we could have a whole other show.
Right? Right. It's like everyone is trying to bully and outdo and outsmart and outthink something that is not of man. So it's just, I can't really get my head around it. But when it comes to Kamala, I also think our generation is all about cancel culture, and that's very problematic. Nobody wants to give grace. Nobody wants to give, we have progressed in thinking. We are now, okay, I did this in my past. I was a prosecutor in this way, but I have since, progressed in my thinking and beliefs and what have you. Nobody wants to give grace in that area, and that's so problematic.
Listening to you, though, I have hope for the future. Listening to you, I really
do.
It is. Yeah. And I always believe people can adapt and evolve. Like I really believe that the only kind of tie that I keep for Joe Biden is that his relationship with Barack Obama changed him, and everybody has their turning point, and everybody's turning point is not the same. So there are people out there that believe, like y'all seen that, I was a former KKK member, and now I met this black chick that saved my life. She's an EMT and she saved my life, and now I'm rethinking my whole upbringing. Right?
Okay,
that happens every day.
Yeah, Key, that's just like being a former drug dealer and now you with the Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? So
Shine, listen, niggas. Shine is about to Shine is from what?
Perry, I'm the comedian
Barbados?
up here, Perry. I'm the comedian up here, but I'm telling you, man, that
Oh,
Listen,
shit.
that was
praise.
great. That was a good
No,
one.
it's not Is it Barbados? Yep, Shine is from Barbados, right?
Yeah.
So Shine did his whole music thing with Diddy's company, and then he went to jail for a long time for drugs, and now he's out of jail and he's a whole new man, right? However, he is about to be a senator in Barbados.
Yep.
Hey, that's great.
Tell me that God ain't good.
Hip hop, hip hop is great.
Tell it to me. Tell it to my face.
So prison worked for him.
Hold on, y'all. P, you said a former drug dealer that went to the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, dude, we know plenty of them. I mean, come on.
Oh boy, you
They did a movie about one.
Malcolm X be.
They did one about. They did a movie.
You know what?
Yeah, it was an entire movie. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole cancel culture doesn't work for our generation. Whatever. What are we?
Right.
We're generation X.
Yes.
X,
we got
Y, weird.
We got Jay-Z.
We got some X's. Anyway,
Malcolm progressed. Malcolm progressed his
Exactly.
But I mean, people like now we don't allow people that progression. We don't even think about that progression. Like,
well, I think we're living proof, though. We're living proof now with Kamala. We're living proof with Kamala.
Exactly. Right. But when Joe Biden goes to Starbucks and they give him a cappuccino, he says, "I don't want it because it's not black." Then you have to think about it.
I hate it.
Oh man, I
got
time.
All right. Okay.
It's fine enough too.
Candace, let me tell you, Candace. I stand by my jokes.
That's
they might not hit all the fucking time. They might not hit all the time.
No, that's okay. You dropped it off and let us. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You tried.
I'm dedicated.
But people are allowed to evolve. People are allowed to change their views.
You're exactly right. Look at Muhammad Ali. They're allowed to do that.
Look at the damn podcast we had 2 weeks ago. With you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Black Mafia joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at that. I mean, we have a, I am not the same person that I was 20, 30 years ago. The jokes the jokes that I say, you know what I'm saying? The jokes that I say that I said back then, I would never say them now. You know what I'm saying? Because I have grown.
Can we get one as an example?
Do we have to?
Don't do it, Keisha.
It's that rabbit hole.
Here you go. Yep. Now, when people used to say, Tico, man, they used to say, dude, how you feeling? And I say, man, I'm happier than a faggot with a bag of dicks.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? See, back in the days, I could say that. You could say faggot. You could say that.
So
you can't say that now.
My brand.
I can't say that now. I can't say that now.
Oh.
And the only reason why I said that is because I gave you an example of how I've grown. Like I would not say that today. You know what I'm saying? Because I have cousins that are gay. I have, you know what I'm saying? I have cousins, I have nieces, and you know what I'm saying, nephews that are gay. So, you know what I'm saying? And spending time with them and learning them turned me, you know what I'm saying? Made me think of.
But you also don't have to have familial attachment in order to respect.
Pull that plane up.
Exactly.
Pull that plane up, Tico. You was crashing. You was crashing. Pull that bitch up.
I'm just saying, man. I have grown, and and going back. Luckily, you know what I'm saying. There's no footage of me saying stuff like that back in the day, because if there was footage of me,
you contacted it today.
If there was footage of me saying stuff like that, I mean, shit. If we go back and listen to Eddie Murphy's Delirious,
No,
you know what I'm
not.
saying? That was all bam, 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 bam. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think people should apologize? Do you think people should apologize?
I don't think people should apologize. I think I should say, okay, well, I was young then. I'm grown up now. I don't talk like that. But
context is key.
At that particular time and moment, you could say that content, you could say stuff just like we were kicking before back in the day, Rob. Like you could not make Blazing Saddles today.
Yes,
Blazing Saddles is a great.
They are trying to. They are trying to. But we'll get into the we'll get into that.
But I say that to say this, that we grow. You have to go by, you know what I'm saying, what somebody's doing now.
You make a good point.
Candace, okay. What do you think? What do you think of apologizing 8 to 10 years later?
Oh, well, see, when I was on Out of My League podcast, I remember Brendan and I had this conversation, and I literally said, I'm not apologizing. I say 8 years ago. Like, I said it, and I meant it then, and I was like, I stand by what I said. Now, can I grow? Absolutely. But I think if you dig up, when I make it, wherever that may be, whenever that may land, I know there's probably gonna be a tweet. There's probably gonna be somebody from college. Like, I remember that Candace Cooper girl. She was a wild child. I'm gonna say, damn right. I had a great time in college. I'm not that girl anymore. I was on every table. I could take it down like the best of them, but that's not who I am anymore. So, if you're still holding people to who they were back then, it's like you don't allow people to grow, and you don't want to be held to that. And I just think it's silly. But you see every week, like my Twitter generation, there's a notes app apology all the time. So we're just a generation where we want everyone to feel and own their wrongs. And some people do. And I also think, just going to say, some shit you can keep to yourself. You can keep it in the drafts. You don't have to let it loose. You can talk about it amongst your friends. You can crack that joke in the comfort of your own group set. Like, everything doesn't have to, let me see if this joke gets off on Twitter. Let me see if this joke, this picture I'm going to put on Instagram goes viral. Like, I think everyone wants to have that notoriety of feeling value in social media, and that's also problematic.
Yeah, but
so a lot of these
you're absolutely right.
Sometimes
you can just shut the fuck up.
Right. But think about it though, Candace, think about it, Candace, that in this day and time, you don't even your peeps might even be recording your ass. You don't even know.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody always, it's like that in this day and time. It's like even I know with this group of people that have known me for 30 some years, and they know how I talk and they know how I am. I could say
your heart, friend.
Exactly. They know my heart, and I could say shit. But if I say something, you know what I'm saying? Shit, man. We talking about this politics shit, and there's real shit that's really going on. Tom Hanks is still missing, and so,
all right, moving along. Moving along.
God, man.
I do think that it's important to hold Kamala in what she says in terms of how she's going to move our country along. So, we do need to hold her feet to that fire. Period.
Absolutely.
But here's the question.
At this point, we are held to doing that now, or risking Trump being reelected. Right? It's a bad place to be.
The bar is in hell. Yes.
Right.
But here's my question, and I completely respect what you said, Candace. I think it's spot on. The challenge is how do we do this in a respectable way? The last thing that I want to see happen to her is I don't want to see her bombarded like they did back in, let's say, 1615 on a stage in a public venue. We don't need that. I would like to see it done in a way. This is just Russell speaking. But I think it's important that we do it in a way that's respectful and also respects where she is. Otherwise, we're going to come across bad. What do you think to that?
Well, I think that, as Black people, we all don't have the same thoughts. And a lot of people are still holding Black people to we're all one monolithic thought. So we're all thinking the same thing. We all got to rally around. And that's just not the case. However, in this time, when we know she's about to go up against hell, we should have some sort of unified front. It doesn't have to necessarily be, I used to joke with my friends, listen, I'm going to march with you. Everybody's going to march with me, but I'm not going to be linked with everybody. I don't want to necessarily stand next to that person. We can all march, fist up, what have you. But some people, I'm just all skin folk, ain't kin folk. And that's the reality. But the same way that white photographer called her a hoe, it's like, how can we still say, check him? You know, how can we be better gatekeepers? Like, I can talk and hold her feet to fire, but I don't necessarily want you to be her out here looking crazy to these white people, to other people of color. How do we do that? I think it's important to have that. We have to hold our sister down, period. She identifies as a Black woman, so that's what you have to do.
And it's not even identifying, right? She's a Black woman. Like,
that's true.
I literally saw a brother post a fake fucking birth certificate that said she was Caucasian. And I was like, my comment was, we're really fucking doing this now? And his comment, his reply was, I don't speak to emotion. Okay, nigga, send me your birth certificate. I can probably make it look any way you want it to look. Like, I seriously can. Like, with
I love my tribe.
Technology, I can make your birth certificate look any way you fucking want it to. Any way you fucking want. I can make it look any way you want. And that's the shit I'm not subscribing to. Like, I really need, like, now is a time for people to get educated and research and look and understand that there are millions of, I'm not even calling them people, bots out here on the internet that you can subscribe to that align with whatever the fucked up shit you believe in.
Yep.
So I need you to come out of that. I need you to come out of that, and I need you to do your research, and I need you to realize that somebody can make a birth. Y'all want me to? Who wants me to make them a birth certificate?
I'm going there with you today.
I can through PDF, through like, it is so, like, it's unbelievable the ignorance that has proliferated through this whole thing. So listen, she's a sister. She's my sister. She is doing big things. They coming after her anyway. Just off top of those three things. Like, the last thing I need is somebody that I consider my brother going after her on some dumb shit. Like, no, you didn't agree with her politics. Yes, you may subscribe to she locked a whole bunch of Black men up over some bullshit in California. Yes, you may subscribe to a whole lot of things. Like, my main bone of contention, and I'll just go ahead and put this out here. My main bone of contention with Kamala Harris is that she was not a proponent and a vocal proponent of releasing non-violent offenders. And her comment was that it would decrease the population of prison workers. And those prison workers in California, a lot of them fight forest fires, right? These niggas get paid $1 a day to fight these forest fires in California. But when they get out of prison, they cannot be firefighters because they have a criminal record. So there's a lot of things that I don't agree with her upon, but that's fine. I don't agree with my mama on a lot of things.
I just think you have to go back to the root of what's the alternative. Like, yes, we're angry, and we might not like what she did in that moment, but we can say, hey, we can actually go to her and say, this, when you did this moment and you're not allowing people to be firefighters after they fought in these forest fires, can we fix this? You bring that situation to Trump, he's going to say, I went golfing yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, he's not going to even acknowledge your question. He's not going to acknowledge you. And that is problematic. So if you don't see that as a problem, that's even scarier. And I want to have a conversation. Like, even my religious people who are like, I vote for the Republican Party because of religious beliefs. The man said 2 Corinthians. Like, let's just call it for what it is. We need to start having conversations about what's the alternative to Kamala and Joe? Please let me know. If it's something that you want to bring to the table, please. And if you can't bring an informed decision, then there's no perfect candidate.
Listen, Candace, there is no alternative at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm not having a conversation with you about what could have been and should have been and what could
Yeah.
be. Here we are. You choose between Trump and Biden. That's all right now.
I would say
Those
this
are
too.
your options.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
add this. I think one of the things we can do also to be informed voters, informed folks looking at this thing, is to really start looking at the media. For me, I just popped something in our chat, and I would say this. I mean, Ava DuVernay's documentary, The 13th, and please go read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. They spoke eloquently to the points you mentioned earlier, as far as how do we get folks who have paid their debt to society to vote. And that strikes me seriously. So I think it's important that we become informed voters as we go to the polls in 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of things that we talked about today, trust me, we're going to come back and definitely revisit. Candace.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yeah, look, I do thank you for for joining us today. And and of course, the main talk was around politics, right?
Yes.
Look, Candace, I got you on the show. I got to get one sports question out the way. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Two.
Okay?
I got two. I got one for her too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So, and this is just based on a tweet that of yours that I saw yesterday.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
You're bringing up my old shit. We just had this conversation of bringing up my old stuff.
No. I just got to get your comment on bubble basketball because I know I have enjoyed it. Okay, especially with yesterday's game. Between the Grizzlies, that playing game between the Grizzlies and the Blazers. Not just because of Melo, but just the fact that they're in this creative AAU environment. Okay, what has been your thoughts on the quality of basketball? Okay, and what we should see going forward with the playoffs starting.
I think we should have Adam Silver run for president, one, because clearly he knows how to lead an effective campaign towards keeping everybody safe. But more importantly, this is how when people talk about, oh, I could play, I could hoop, I could be with them, J. Cole trying to make a tryout. Like, this is elite basketball at its finest. If you don't, anything else, all the fans, I hope they don't really let families allowed in there because this has been a perfect setup. Like, this is just straight ball, people going straight at you. You see talent. You've seen the Phoenix Suns where they've always been talented. They are an elite basketball team. And now you got to see them go 8-0 in the bubble. It's been a great experience. And I think come playoffs, it's going to be like this night after night because people are going to actually going to be better because people are going to actually start playing defense. So I think that it's going to be elite and every game is going to be worth the watch. So, and I also think WNBA has been good. It's been good to see WNBA basketball get their shine.
I've enjoyed the wobble as well. So, Tigo, you had some sports questions as well.
Well, I mean, first of all, I tried to watch the basketball. I tried to watch the basketball, and it reminded me of when I played 2K and I walk away from the game and the game is playing by itself. That's what it reminded. That's what it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Emotionally, I mean, because I'm all about feeling. You're me. I'm all about vibes. So when I watch games, I like to look at the game, but I also like to see the crazy shit that's going on behind with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with the basketball. The basketball is great. It's the behind the shit that's fucking with me. That makes
so you don't like the virtual fans?
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I dig the virtual fans.
I don't
actually like the
that at all.
virtual fans.
I don't like that at all because you know what I'm saying, it's all glitchy and shit. And like I said, it reminds me of just watching 2K. You know what I'm saying? But again, my thing was last night because I do enjoy sports. And me and Rob were talking about the UFC fight. I don't know if you watch UFC. I know that you're a sports fan, but what do you think about or if you've seen the UFC fight. First of all, did you see the fight yet last night? Did you see it?
I don't really do violence like that. That's boxing and UFC is not really my MMA, all that stuff. I do not enjoy. I don't want to see anybody's face get knocked off. Like I don't enjoy.
Me neither, girl.
I think that's all that good blood.
Blood that shit though.
Well, then I have to go to Rob. Rob, do you think that Conrio got robbed last night, man?
I can't really call it, man. I mean, I don't know, man. He got some hard punches. I mean, I thought he was on his way to getting knocked out. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that second round, but I'm going by points and I'm going by, you know what I'm saying, blocks and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? He kind of rocked old boy, you know. But P, I don't know if did you watch it? I know that
I watched it, and if I was going by points, I'm sorry, Stipe won the fight. Stipe won the fight. Yeah, I felt that Stipe won the fight. Okay.
Even from the takedowns and the blocking.
Even from the takedown, I'm sorry, he was the more aggressive cat. I apologize. I got to sneak. Candace. I apologize. There's one more question I do need to. There's one more question I do need to sneak in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You used to work for the Pelicans?
Yeah, so I worked for the Saints and Pelicans.
Okay, so I got to get your thoughts on Alvin Gentry's dismissal.
Man, Alvin's my guy. I really enjoy Alvin as a human. I think that he is a great coach. Unfortunately, he has not been set up for greatness, but that is a whole organization issue that we don't have. I could go on about the Benson family, but I think that he wasn't set up for success with the whole AD situation. He was kind of on his last leg, but AD wasn't given help besides Drew Holiday. Like they have never really built a strong team where everyone was able to go. And Zion Williamson is fat and out of shape, but that's a whole, we can go there. You know, he shouldn't have been, Zion was fat and out of shape. Let's call it what it is. Lonzo Ball should not be your ticket in and out of keeping your job. Lonzo Ball, really? Okay. He just fixed his shot. He fixed the shot 2 weeks ago. He fixed the shot 2 weeks ago. So I don't know that he is also the person that I would go for. But I think that they need to hire a female. I'm ready for a female coach. So whether it's the Bulls or the Pelicans, I'm ready for a female coach. Becky
Hammond.
I haven't seen that since Whoopi Goldberg.
Hey. Eddie is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I'll leave it at that.
It's time. You want to see it happen. It should happen. We're capable. No. And hell, the men ain't doing a very good job. They keep getting ducked off every other year, so might as well try. Why not? Why not have a female take over the reins? We've seen all these other nations with female politicians, and they're doing a great job. New Zealand is doing a great job. Here we are. We've done men this whole time. Why not let a female take a little bit of the reins? If Joe would just learn to shut up.
Some of the men might feel bad about the coach coming in after the game.
Why? Why would they feel bad? Oh, Lord.
God, Lord.
All right, man.
Candace, I apologize. This is what you walk into.
It's all good.
When you join us on Straight to Tape. Candace, let the folks know what you got, going on. I know I mentioned the Locked on Hills podcast. I read there was a couple other projects you were getting involved in as well. Something you want to share to our audience?
Yeah, so I will be doing a show this fall called Guest the Guest Live with ACC basketball. I'm working with Penn Holderness. He is he's the white guy whose family went viral for the Christmas jammies. Mm-hmm. And he used to be on ESPN. So he will be host and I will be the producer in the background. We're going to bring in some legendary ACC guys up there talking their good old days. And then they also are working with charities. So 50% of the sponsorship revenue is going to go to a charity of their choice. So it's just kicking back and talking sports, talking ACC college hoops. And that's really a good, my first production job. So I'm really excited about that with Earfluence, but also my podcast. Yes. Locked on Heels with the Locked on Podcast Network. David Locke he's the voice of the Utah Jazz. So he started his podcast network. So I'll be covering Carolina football and basketball, which I love and hold dear, obviously, but Out of My League is still going. We do it every now and then. It's just for fun. Me and Brendan, we just have that chemistry where we get to talk crap and I get to release a lot of my feelings and frustrations, which have been a lot lately. Yeah, it's been crazy. But yes, I do, again, as a millennial here, encourage people to vote no matter what. I think bottom line, I don't care who you vote for. I just want you to vote. I don't care if you have to vote, and you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me whether you voted or not. You don't have to tell me who you voted for. I think we should go back to that old school style where we keep politics out of the conversation in the room. Like, we don't have to discuss it. I just want to make sure you're doing your part. And all I can do is encourage you from that. I'm not going to think less of you to your face, but I think it's just important to, do your part. Exercise your free right to do that. There's not a lot of things we get to do for real for free, but like getting to vote is one of them. So I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Having you on, man.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace. Okay. Sorry, Candace. I got to take us back into the past here. Okay. Candace Cooper. That's a shout out to my man Shakai. So
people really do love that.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. You guys have a blessed day.
Yo,
Thank
Candace,
you.
let's get
You
together
too.
and let's do it. Let's get down and do some curling. I'm down with curling. Let's get down and talk.
See, that's the
curling.
sport I don't agree with.
Yeah. That's the only sport I enjoy to see. I like to see women's curling because that's the only sport I can see and, you know what I'm saying, go for women sweeping. So, yeah.
Okay.
oh god.
I can't wait to come back on the show when you guys need me. So I'm here for you. Besides curling, I got you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming
definitely.
through.
Thank you. Okay. Yo, Tico.
Yes,
Do you have anything weird for us today?
I surely do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tico's Theater of the Weird.
Well, Sharon Smith, 53 years old, was cooking in her kitchen, and all of a sudden she just happened to look outside. And when she looked outside, there was a man squatting in her garden. So she went outside. She was like, "Yo, man, what are you doing?" And he was like whistling and continuously squatting in her garden. And so when he finished, she was like, you're gonna stay right there until the police come. I'm a blue belt, so you do not want to leave because it's gonna be some problems. So police got there and questioned the dude, and he said, he hasn't been feeling well and his stomach was hurting, and he couldn't hold it in any longer and just jumped out of his truck and saw her garden and just decided to pop a squat and take a shit. So Amazon said, well, this doesn't go with the qualifications of Amazon, so we're going to let this brother go. So they let him go. There was no charges put on the guy. Blessed on that, but he did lose his job. So all I have to say is that shit happens.
Shit happens, really?
Yeah.
Key.
I mean,
Key.
when's the last
I
time?
don't-
You've been there before.
Yeah.
You've been there before.
Ain't even no need for follow up. Key, this is the part of the show where you save us and bail us out from that.
In Tico's defense,
Oh God, what?
Thank you, Rob.
I've been perilously close
Yes.
to having to do that once or twice.
Yes.
Especially after they took my gallbladder out. Yo, anybody had their gallbladder removed? Yo, listen, man. When they took my gallbladder out, boy, stuff. I mean, like in the couple months right after, man, stuff just started running right through your boy TMI. So, yeah, I've come perilously close, but I thankfully, what I'm saying, my clinch game is on point. You understand what I'm saying?
Your sphincter game is on tight.
My clinch game is
Sphincter. Call it what it is.
unparalleled.
It's your sphincter.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying. In Tico's defense, it has gotten it's gotten real a couple times.
I'm with you on that. All I think about when shit like that pops off is odds.
Shit like that.
I clench my ass up like I'm in prison. Like,
oh,
not getting in this motherfucker and nothing coming out. So,
right.
I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to play.
Shit happens, man.
Kay, this is the part of the show where you save us with a verse. We need some motherfucking saving right now, for real.
So again,
what happened?
So
again, shit comes out your ass. And
there
you go.
Yes, but no. Kamala Harris is our sister. She just is. She's a sister, which makes her our sister. So I would implore all that are listening and those that are listening to impart upon their brothers and sisters that we need to protect her. It is a long way between now and voting day. And she's going to be disparaged and demeaned. But the last thing we need is us doing that. So be positive. Think positive. And vote positive.
There it is.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, you know us. We're just trying to be your favorite podcast. So make sure you are following us on all of our podcasting platforms. We are on Stitcher. We are on Radio Public. We are on SoundCloud. And of course, we are also on Apple, part of the Apple podcast as well. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. That's what's scrolling at the bottom of our screen. IG, the Facebook, and Twitter, Straight to Tape.
Yo, y'all share.
Yeah, like, share, and share.
Share.
Go ahead.
They already liked because they're here. Yeah. So share, share, like.
Share alike. And look, and whenever we're going live, y'all, share it. You know, your friends are probably gonna like it as well because you're liking it because you're checking in with us on Straight to Tape. Yo,
ain't doing nothing but watching those ass. They ain't doing nothing but watching P Valley.
Exactly. Yo, big man.
Down in the valley with it.
And the girls get naked.
Yeah. Yo, the Kevin Nash to my Scott Hall. Rob, give some love to the comment section, my man.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy. Just as always, family. I don't want you to be like Scott Hall, bro. As usual. Right, exactly. Thank y'all for coming through, man. So I see the people that checked in. Exactly, Raph. My man Raphael came through as usual. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Candace. Cherie, hadn't seen you in a minute. Thank you for coming through. Nick, Patrick, Daisha, of course, Karsten. My man Tim Moore came through. I seen my man Raj come through. My man Jimmy on the check-in. Winona on the check-in. Latricia, as usual. Thank you for coming through as always. And just thank you everybody for your support of Straight to Tape. Kareem, even Bishop was in the comments, but he called out today. But he in the comments.
He was on the toilet.
He can do that on the toilet.
You can
probably
comment on the toilet.
Sam,
Rob,
thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for coming through. Sam, what?
Rob, you know I don't want to do this, but I'm going to give you this 2 minutes to express someone that was in the comments and then they're automatically disappeared.
Nah, you know what? You should have let me do it when I was going to do it.
Yeah, okay, great.
Just don't put me on the spot like that.
We talked about growth today. Look at there, grow. We grow.
Nah, you should have let me clown that motherfucker.
Rob, look, Rob.
Let it be put on record that it was the team that voted against the wrath of Rob because the shit was coming and it was coming hard and fast. Pause. But the team decided against it.
And you can play that on your show, nigga. Anyway, punk
ass motherfucker.
What in the world?
Okay. Anyway,
Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
No, first, I gotta thank Doc Rob for sitting in with us today.
Thank you very much.
No. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here with you all. You all are like the highlight of like my intellectual inspiration. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So look, no, thank you, bro. Thank you for answering the call, okay, and being flexible with your time with us on Straight to Tape. All right. Now, yep, it's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. For the comedian Tico de Gallo.
Yo, what's the difference between a speech from Joe Biden and a speech from Donald Trump?
I don't know what's the difference between a speech from Joe Biden and a speech from Donald Trump.
When I hear Biden speak, I'm wondering if that motherfucker had a damn stroke. But when I hear Trump speak, I wonder if I have a fucking stroke.
That's a good one.
That's actually a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one.
Thank you.
First lady of S2T, the
quintessential
hip hop mom, Keisha with
Oprah missing two. Key.
Bye, y'all. It's me and Coop, and Greek extravaganza going down at my house in an hour.
All right. And the social media assassin #1, Rob Maximus.
Yeah, I think I may pull up. I'm going to see how the next couple of hours go. You said it's happening when?
I'm going to, everything's marinating right now. I'm about to start cooking as soon as we sign off.
Might have to pull up, perhaps. It might have to go down. But anyway, listen, man, don't poke the bear. You know what I'm saying?
I like to poke the bears though.
Yeah, don't poke the bear.
Any single bears out there?
I am well aware of the fact that there are people riding our jock out there, you know what I'm saying, that are using us because we're geniuses. We're a diverse panel of thought and opinion, and we're smart as hell, and we all look good. We're good at what we do, and we have other people out there that ride our jock and try to come up off of us and use our show for content. We're aware of it, you know what I'm saying, but we choose to ignore your stupid asses.
And you can have it.
For now.
Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and say, look, just thank us when you get a chance for making your ass better. And
I mean, you could add us though, because if you don't add us, then it don't count.
Yeah, but look,
right? You could add us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never get tagged in none of the shit. So anyway,
at all. That's some bitch assness in itself. But anyway,
you a bitch.
Of course, your man C. Perry Elysia II. As always, let's stay informed. Let's stay true to ourselves, and let's get active. Okay. Look, I'm gonna end the show a little bit differently because I've been told that our theme song is kind of fly. So let's do
we're gonna do it.
So let's
do
this.
Go, man. Yo.
Instead of Tico ending the show with something crazy, you know what?
Me?
Yeah, you motherfucker. I'm just gonna play the theme song. We will see you next week. We out.